$11,000 joke landed this influencer in prison. What is going on?
Rage bait, a term that has been around for a very long time. I mean, look at this definition. It was written in 2009. This means that the idea of writing a controversial opinion on purpose in order to elicit more reactions has been around since the dawn of the internet.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that the majority of people have caught on to this just yet. Here's a great example posted on March 8th, 2025 on Twitter.
Do you know how I noticed that people don't understand that rage bait exists? By looking at TikTok, because every single post has a rage bait in them and people still fall for it. It's crazy.
It says, money does not matter to women. I would sooner date a high-tea gym owner making $300K a year than a loser tech founder making $1.5 million a year. Obviously,
$300K a year. IT.
this is a ridiculous thing to state because not even 1% of the population makes $300K a year to begin with. But people fell for it. 2,300 replies.
Only $300K? Oh my goodness. You're literally trying to hop in poverty, aren't you?
10 million views and 11,000 likes. It's fun for a rage baiter to bait people like this.
IT high testosterone. Very manly man.
Recently, it's not about fun anymore. It's actually a very profitable enterprise. When Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, he made it so that you could monetize your tweets based on the impressions that you get.
This is what wrongdoing, because now people will be compensated for being an asshole on the internet.
In a way, changed the internet forever. Because if you were to make just a few posts like this per month, getting over 10 million views on them, then you'd easily be making anything from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, maybe even more. This is why RageBait has been so prominent these days. But before Elon Musk even made this change, a certain group of people had figured out early on that RageBait is the best marketing strategy on the internet. That group of people were none other than OF girls, as evidenced by this woman. This right here is a perfect example where she's thanking her top spender for having financed her new car. There are almost 800 replies here, and almost none of them have something good to say. But that doesn't matter. The post has 2.3 million views, and all it takes is having 1% of them subscribe to her OF, and she would have made a lot of money. It's a ridiculously profitable industry with people making 6 figures a year just rage baiting the internet.
This
isn't just restricted to the Western hemisphere of the world, it's everywhere, even in a country like Turkey. You see, rage baiting is something that Merve Tashkin understood very well. Through her OF account, she was generating hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she knew how to rage bait her audience in a way that none others could. She was essentially living the dream. But that dream is now a nightmare, as she somehow was able to rage bait the Turkish authorities. You see, Merve is currently facing more than 5 years in Turkish prison. And to make matters worse, while she's awaiting this verdict, she is under indefinite house arrest with an ankle monitor strapped to her leg. All her movements are tracked. She can't leave the country, and she can't even leave her own home. So how the hell did we get here? What the hell is happening? Let's talk about it. All right, so let's get one thing straight. Turkey is a pretty damn big country. And while some areas are more liberal, it still remains majoritarily a conservative country. So it's no surprise that a website like OF has been banned there for a while now. And you can already bet that other adult websites are also banned as well. In fact, in 2022 alone, they had blocked over 137,000 web addresses. At some point, I
don't understand why somebody would be in Turkey and do OnlyFans. I feel like you would rather move to a different country and then just visit Turkey then. Because I feel like in some way, you can clearly see that the government does not like this. And in ways, whenever the government is banning it constantly and they have this obvious agenda to block all of this. And if you are a constant user, even a publisher in these medium forms and making a lot of money there, I feel like you might have a target on your back.
Even blocked Instagram, but in the end, it turned out to be for political reasons, and the website is now live again, but we don't know for how long. This 9-day ban...
Is Twitch banned in Turkey though? No, that's why Amaranth has... I'm not going to make that joke. No, Twitch is not banned in Turkey.
And was done in 2024, and one of its biggest critics was none other than Merve, who at this point was already very controversial and had gotten in trouble with the law multiple times. Instagram was actually the platform where she gained her notoriety. Many Turkish businesses rely on Instagram to differentiate themselves in a hyper-competitive market. This is what eventually led her to create adult content in parallel.
Welcome back,
she understood
Angel.
marketing as well as rage baiting. At some point, she bragged that 3 months of rent in her villa in Bali is worth $100,000, adding that she's not rich, your income is just low.
Damn.
It's especially easy to get people to hate you when you make statements like this, especially from Turkey, because it's a country going through quite a lot of financial difficulties. So obviously, she had no shortage of people who hated her guts, but at the same time, she was making too much money to care. That was until she decided to go to Amsterdam. You see, the Netherlands and Turkey could not be more different. You would never in a million years find a sex museum open in the center.
Wait, there are sex museum in... Wait, what the fuck?
Center of the capital of Turkey, but you do in Amsterdam, and it just so happens to be a very
What is it? No, never mind. Why am I asking?
popular touristic destination.
Why would you go to a sex museum? Like, what the fuck is there? Is there like every single way you can have sex? How sex started? Like, I mean, doesn't that kind of explain itself? Yup, yeah, okay. It just tells you every way you can have sex. Okay.
As well. Now,
Oh, but in this
Merve,
one, I'm not sure.
how do I
that
explain
crazy
this
much.
without getting absolutely demonetized to
Ooh, is that what the fuck is it? I mean, what the fuck is this?
oblivion? Okay, here's what we can do. All right, so in the sex
Study
museum,
of
there's
Kama
this
Sutra.
popular attraction. Many tourists like to sit on it and take a picture riding it. Now I'm going to draw something completely unrelated so you understand, okay? All right, so here's a palm tree, but unfortunately there are two big coconuts that decided to fall under the
But why is it like this though? Now this does not seem very pleasant to sit on.
palm tree. Two massive, humongous coconuts. And on those coconuts, you had someone sitting on them while cheering. I think you understand where we're going with this, right? Merve had taken an image of her doing this in the museum and then proceeded to post it on Instagram.
Amazing.
She thought it was funny. And honestly, looking at this picture, yeah, it's ridiculous. But what she found even more ridiculous is the fact that because of this image, she was arrested twice after coming back to Turkey from the Netherlands. And then
Why?
she was summoned to court to face obscenity charges.
For posting photos in Amsterdam? Now that's stupid. That's stupid as hell.
This was back in summer of 2021, but this was truly only the beginning. This case was actually going to be very important because it was going to set a legal precedent for anything similar in the future. So even though many people found it ridiculous, the stakes were actually pretty damn high here, and it left Turkish people very divided on what they were hoping to
That's
get
some
out of the
dark
verdict.
jokes, Foxy.
So imagine the shock of some Turkish citizens when she actually went to court and it turned out that she was guilty. She was sentenced to 6 months in prison, but that was then reduced to 5 months because of her good behavior. However, she would only go to prison if she was a repeat offender in the time frame of 5 years.
I'm gonna be real. I'd move out of the country. I'd just try to apply to move out anywhere. This is dumb as hell.
Yes, that means she was placed on a 5-year probation. If she ever were to screw up again in those 5 years, she would go straight to prison. But how is it even possible to prosecute someone like this? Well, in the Turkish Penal Code, Article 226, they talk about obscenity. She was prosecuted.
Man, I'm happy I live in the US. Some countries are crazy. Yeah. It is nuts to see how like the government and the justice system is abused this way in these ridiculous terms. Like, it makes you happy you don't live there. And if I lived there, I'd move out. Definitely if you're doing something like this. That's crazy.
Under paragraph 2, which says any person who broadcasts or publishes obscene written or audiovisual material or who acts as an intermediary for this purpose shall be sentenced to a penalty of imprisonment for a term of 6 months to 3 years and a judicial fine of up to 5,000 days.
Damn.
But here's the catch. This entire article does not detail what obscenity refers to. On January 2025, an OF girl in Turkey said that she was going to sleep with 100 men in 24 hours. The
What
cops
the
went to
fuck?
her home and arrested her immediately.
Now that's some crazy hoeing. 100 men?
Okay,
Ugh.
immediately. She didn't even get a chance to open her legs. So you gotta wonder, what is obscenity? It could be anything. Oh, you posted an image on Instagram with your girlfriend wearing a bikini? Well, you're getting...
Turkey is also in NATO, by the way. That's fine. there's a lot of bases and stuff like that. You know how Israel is basically America because it's a station for all, like, it to look at Middle East. The same as with Turkey. So it's like it's not America, but it's working a lot with Europe. So that's why you have NATO there, because you have a lot of it's a good ground for defense itself.
Arrested. That's what kind of was worrying people, right? And her losing that case set a precedent that yes, they could arrest you for quite literally anything. That's just how it was. Now, obviously, it was in Merve's best interest to kind of lay off social media, take a step back so that she doesn't get in trouble again within that 5-year probation period.
The US is basically is Israel. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of Americans seem to not say it, but everyone in Europe knows it. I don't know. It's kind of wild. It's actually the 51st state of America.
But she didn't stop, and she had a lot of haters that saw this probationary period as an opportunity to put her in prison. At some point, Merve had posted a non-explicit image on her Instagram that she had also posted on her OF account.
A lot of everyone in the US knows that Israel wouldn't exist without US backing. Yeah, of course it wouldn't. It's America. It wouldn't exist at all. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't for America. So that's the thing. It's actually America. You look how the president works with the Israeli president. You can see exactly that there is one above the other. Then you can see also how they worked with each other, those countries, just generally. But yeah, that's a different topic. But yeah, that's why Turkey is in NATO, and that's fine that Turkey is in NATO. That makes sense. But if they want to have their laws in one way, we can't tell them to change it because we have laws in a different way. But I think that the citizens, if you're a citizen and you don't like the law, you can always apply to move somewhere else, and that's it. I'm not going to tell Turkey to change their laws or to talk a lot of shit about their laws. They're their laws. I'm not a citizen there. I have no right to even comment on it, but I'm just going to say I think it's dumb. I don't think it should be a thing because in my view this is insane, but if that's how the Turkish population and politicians want it to be, it is how they want it to be.
This was enough for her haters to report her to the authorities.
It said that South Africa is a part of America. I'm not sure how that is true. No, it's part of England. I mean, it was occupied by English. The thing is that with a lot of these things is about occupation, and we can talk a little bit more about it later. But like, again, this is about a lot of countries about either about occupation or strategic positioning for control.
Happened at the end of 2022, a little over a year after she got prosecuted with a 5-year probationary period. She had tweeted out, "I have a court date on January 12th. A court decision was made under the name of obscenity crime because of the normal photos I used OnlyFans and shared on my Instagram account. Congratulations to those who reacted. You have achieved your goal." She then replied to that post showing everyone the text she had received, summoning her to court, and specified in the tweet under it that yes, she's under probationary period. If she's prosecuted, then both sentences will be combined together for a prison term. So that's 5 months from the sex museum fiasco, and God knows how many more months this trial was going to give her. She was potentially about to be in a lot of trouble. Again, this made international news, and again, this was going to set a pretty big precedent. Merve argued that if she were to lose this, then the majority of Turkish people can say goodbye to their freedoms. Now, I don't need to tell you that this was very controversial. It was a very two-sided incident, with one side being fully with her and another side wanting to see her in prison for the rest of her life, all right?
I mean, those are just people mad that she's making money. Like, there will always be dudes out there or girls that I guess there will always be people out there that are mad that a girl is making money because she's hot. Like, it'll always be the case. And these guys that are mad, they want her to go to prison, of course.
There was no in between. But if you haven't figured it out already, for an OF girl, there is no such thing as bad publicity in anything that happens. Even if they were to crash their car, anything is a marketing opportunity. Yeah. And that's exactly how Merve treated this.
I remember this OF girl had this expensive car, and she literally made a video where she walked on top of it and completely wrecked it by breaking the glass and making dent on top. and it was a really expensive car. But that expensive self just to repair it was worth it because the advertisement of people being mad that she wrecked that car was huge. It made her a lot of money. And you know what? The funny thing is that I'm talking about an OnlyFans girl that is like, I think she's top 1 or 2 or something. She's really high up there. She's making millions. So, you know, she knows how to piss people off.
She showed up to court on January 12, 2023. She showed up with a skimpy ass outfit. Bear in mind, she was being tried for obscenity, and she showed up with something like this to court to get more people to talk about her. It worked, of course, but people were concerned that she was taunting the judges with an outfit like this. It simply wasn't looking good for her at all. In the end, though, the court couldn't really reach a decision. They delayed the hearing by 2 weeks because they needed more time to look at evidence. To Merve, this was...
Is that her lawyer? Because the lawyer looked like a top model.
To Merve, this was a victory. She had gotten so much publicity, so much marketing. All eyes were on her, and she was still a free woman. But still, people kept a very close eye. She only had 2 weeks of reprieve before the next court date. And of course, on January 26th, she took the opportunity to wear an even more revealing outfit. This girl. Very interesting choice, right? Many people thought she was playing with fire, almost like she wanted to be prosecuted. But somehow, I don't know how, she managed to get acquitted. Not only were the new charges completely thrown out the window, but the old charges concerning her whole stunt at the sex museum in Amsterdam were also thrown out. She was a...
Maybe the country is a little bit corrupt and she just paid a little bit of money under the rug and she was freed. Perhaps that happened.
Essentially a free woman. No more prison time to worry about, no more probation. She had a clean record now. And she had set a pretty damn strong precedent to anyone doing OF content in Turkey. I'm pretty sure no one was expecting this, even herself, but she kind of became the face of OF girls in Turkey because of this. But even so, she didn't waste a single second celebrating. Shortly after, she took a plane to Bali and just started living there. Here's a tweet referencing that. I moved out of my country because I could not stand the court cases I've experienced in Turkey and the pressure Turkey has put on me that I'm an obscene person. You lost a star you did not know. I would like to thank everyone who has always supported me during this process once again.
And that's exactly what I think is the right move. Like, if you don't like the laws in your country, you just move. If you hate the high taxes, you hate stuff, you can move somewhere else that is more appropriate for you. And if you want to do OnlyFans, I mean, living in Bali doesn't sound that bad. I'll be real with you. Moving to Bali does not sound that bad. So... I mean, you go, girl.
This was her stating to the whole world she was finally free from the clutches of her evil country, and would reference the court case again as well, saying, last year around this time I went to court for obscenity and was acquitted. You know, my friends, in fact, my court result sets a precedent because it was the first time such a court case was held in Turkey. In other words, I did not escape from Turkey. I can come for a holiday if I want, and here's a warning to you. Soon, you will not be able to wear shorts, skirts, or even low-cut clothes. You paved the way for this, now watch and see. You are turning your own life into a prison, you don't know it. So yes, what she was saying was true. She had set an important precedent, but at the same time, it sounded like she was divorcing herself from her country. It seemed like she had finally escaped this system that she hated so much, like she was finally free. This is why no one could have ever predicted that shortly after tweeting this out, she would find herself in the biggest trouble she could have ever imagined with the Turkish authorities. So as she had said in this tweet, she could come to Turkey for a holiday whenever she wanted, and she did exactly that. She was there during the month of February 2025, so very recently. And as she would often show off to people, she would stay in a very high-end hotel. This is when she would decide to tweet this out on February 12th, 2025.
This girl gotta stop tweeting.
I can be a girlfriend for dinner for those who are single on February 14th. Fee, 400,000 Turkish liras, which equates to 11,000 USD. My features: 1. I am talkative, we can chat a lot. 2. My beauty, you can create a good image with me outside. 3. I am known in Turkey, you can satisfy your ego within yourself. 4. I'm smarter than you expect, you'll be surprised. Bonus, I have great manipulation skills, be careful not to fall in love. Bonus 2, if you need motivation on anything, I'm pretty good at that too. Bonus 3, I am humble. Now,
I don't think the first bonus is something you want to jump into.
Look, you've watched this video this far, right? You know this is rage bait. I mean, of course it is. $11,000 to her is probably what she earns daily. And these points, especially bonus 3, is made to just piss you off. And you know what? It worked. 1.7 million views. 800 very angry replies. It's no different than what we talked about in the beginning of this video. But she had rage baited a little too hard because it ended up reaching the Turkish authorities.
Ooh.
You see, at this point, Merve had gotten quite a few eyes on her throughout the years because of the controversy she was in. This meant that she had a big group of people literally wanting nothing more than seeing her suffer. So when they saw this tweet, they reported her to the Turkish authorities. She caught wind of this, and on Valentine's Day, she had tweeted out, "Are you complaining about me to the authorities? I don't think eating is a crime. If they wish, we can eat together too."
So in her mind, she did nothing wrong. And if the police were to show up to her house, they can eat with her too because it's not a crime.
But little did she know, this was actually going to be the biggest crime of her entire life. Shortly after, she was straight up arrested and brought to the Istanbul Central Police Station. The authorities were done playing around. She wasn't going to get a pass like the last 2 times. She had literally rage baited the police. Like that's exactly what happened. She was placed under house arrest because the authorities argued that her post for Valentine's Day was obscene. Again, this goes back to the idea that we have no clue what obscene means. It can be anything in Turkish law. Merve said, "What did I go through? I was taken from my home and brought to the Istanbul Security Directorate in Geritepe, where I gave my statement. The officers were very polite and I thanked them for that," she wrote. "My phone was confiscated. I don't know when I'll get it back. After my statement, I spent a night in a cold, airless, and not so hygienic holding cell. I was freezing.
Not
the next day
hygienic.
she was transferred to
Not a place for a queen.
courthouse. She said, "The prosecutor was friendly and warm, but then he caught me off guard and requested my arrest. I wasn't expecting that at all. The judge had officially given her house arrest, and she said, I don't know how long this will last. Can someone please tell me this is a joke and none of it is real?" Her house arrest lasted a total of 19 days. And throughout it all, she was forced to wear an ankle monitor that monitors her location at all times. It was only on March 6th, 2025 that she could finally remove it. She then posted this statement on her Instagram. "My 19-day house arrest has officially ended. Now I have to sign in once a week and I still have a travel ban. My court hearing is scheduled for June 17th, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. I hope for an acquittal. Wish me luck. P.S. I'm a bit disappointed that I won't be able to go on vacation to Ibiza until the hearing." So that means, even though she's not under house arrest anymore, she is under probation. She has to sign in once a week and she cannot, under any circumstances, leave the country. Even though she had been acquitted from the
I like the way you're thinking, Cake.
2 previous charges, it seems that this time she had particularly rage baited someone in the authorities and they're just not willing to let her go. And around 3 months from now, we'll see just how badly the authorities want to put her in prison and for how long. But if they do, it will yet again set a precedent. For now though, thank you so much for watching the video until the end. Sorry for sounding sick throughout the whole thing. That's because I am, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that is. I love you so much. Mwah.
Bro, if I was that girl, I'd just stop going to Turkey. Location Berlin. What the fuck? I'd just stop, man. I'd just be like, yo, have family. This is I gotta live and vibe, and there's too much craziness going on. I'm gonna chill out. Y'all want to come visit? I'll buy you a ticket. And that's it. If she makes that much money, I'd be just done. Yo, fam, FF15, be rolling out. Yeah, let's get it. Let's go to Bali, everyone. Let's come and get here. Pack up, pack up. I got tickets ready. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't know. I just not visit the home country anymore. If this was the case all the time, if my job is constantly making the authorities focus on me, I just stop. It doesn't seem. It's better to go and visit whenever you cool down and you stop doing this in itself, because at the moment, or just stop tweeting. It seems that tweeting was the biggest wrongdoing of her, and she just had to stop tweeting while she was on a vacation there. But yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, people want to yap, people want to make money, so it's kind of hard to stop tweeting. At least if you're people addicted to Twitter can never stop logging in and start tweeting about random bullshit. So I get it. But anyways, you tell me down below what you think about this. Like the video if you enjoy it, sub to the channel and watch more. When you're live, you're free to come by my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Adley. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Have a good one now.